welcome here to Talk FCB, and welcome to the match review between Argentina and Paraguay, which tonight came live from La Bombonera in the South American World Cup qualifiers. These games, as you know, every single one of them are so fiercely contested, and we were wondering tonight, how were Argentina going to build on their opening two wins they had coming into this game, won both of their opening games, and they were looking in some good form. But tonight, that winning streak has come to an end. They've drawn 1-1 with Paraguay. But as is usually the case with these South American games, especially now with VAR, there was some controversy as Lionel Messi was denied a brilliant winning goal. We're going to discuss it all, just as we did earlier on More Talk FCB, with Dest, Conrad and Pedri all discussed. The internationals continue. Let's get to it. Because coming into the game, there wasn't too many changes there from Lionel Scaloni in terms of the teams that won their opening two games. Argentina here playing, though, with a bit of a back three. It was Martinez, it was Otamendi and Montiel there in a sort of back three. Argentina were very much on the offensive right throughout the game, so Gonzalez was pushing on. He got the goal for Argentina, which we are going to discuss, and he was really good, I felt, down that left-hand side. You had Rodrigo de Paul there, Palacios and Paredes in midfield. Although I have to say, I think the game really changed there midway through the first half when Palacios actually picked up an injury, and on in his place came Giovanni Lo Celso, and he was brilliant. Lo Celso there, heavily involved in the first goal, and then as well with that possible Messi winner, it was a really, really good link between midfield and attack with Messi, Ocampos and Lautaro Martinez leading the line. And before we talk about that controversy and before we talk about the goals, what we have to, I think, assess first of all is the match stats. And most importantly here, despite the result, despite the fact that Argentina have dropped what I feel is two crucial points, they won't be happy about that whatsoever, and they should be doing better in any sort of home game here. But what I will say is they dominated this game. Usually with Argentina, at times you can see them falling apart, at times you can see it becoming a bit of an end-to-end game and them never really having that control. But today, actually, they did have that control. They really did dominate Paraguay in so many ways. Possession, you look at the shots on target there, you look at the fact they were constantly on that front foot looking to find a way through, and I'm actually coming away from the game today disappointed they didn't win, of course, but obviously it is good to see them making that progression and actually playing more like a team who have quality players and using them in the right way. But if we start here with the rather disastrous start to the game, and Argentina did not settle all that quickly, and ultimately the game for them was taken away from them in that opening 20 minutes. That was the really bad thing about this game. The one thing you don't want in a clash like this, where it is going to be high intensity, these are tough games no matter who you're playing. Paraguay today was certainly no pushovers. What you don't want to do is give away that first goal, because if you do that, if you give your opposition there a chance to take the lead, they can then sit on that, they can protect that, they can really work hard then to preserve that lead. And that's exactly what happened. It was Almiron with a really good run. He made his way sort of into the box. He shouldn't have been allowed to get that far. It was poor defensive play from Argentina, and admittedly, in the box, it's minimal contact. Almiron is one of those players who does go down quite easily, but at the same time, there is contact there. Referee points to the spot. And I have to say as well, Armani, he never even looked confident, never even looked close to saving that. And I know goalkeepers shouldn't be expected to save penalties, but you at least want to see them get close to it, really put some effort in to try and save it. But he didn't even dive. He actually fell in the end to his knees and then just sort of fell over as the ball went there. And just thinking there, Emiliano Martinez has had a brilliant start of the season there at Aston Villa, same at the end of last season with Arsenal. Why is he not in this Argentina side? And what I would also note as well is that the referee and VAR completely ignored the encroachment. As you can see here, when the penalty was taken, there was a Paraguay player inside the box, which meant that really, at the very least, the penalty should have been retaken. It wasn't though. That was ignored, and Paraguay had the lead after 20 minutes. Like I say though, right throughout that first half, even despite going behind, it was a good response from Argentina. Their heads didn't go down, they kept plugging away, they kept going forward, playing their passing game, which is something, like I say, that is not completely usual for Argentina, but I did think they played well there in that first half, and especially the end of that first half. The last 5 minutes there before half-time, they put some serious pressure on, and finally, with 5 minutes to go, they got their goal, they got their reward. And like I say, it was Giovanni Lo Celso Celso at the very heart of it, a really good corner, and it was. It was put in there with so much pace, so much accuracy, into a brilliant area, and what a header. This is truly what you would describe as a towering header. In comes Gonzalez there, he comes from nowhere, nobody can see him coming, and once he gets up for it, you're not getting close to him. Not only there can the defenders not mark against that header, but the goalkeeper, he's got no chance against that. An absolute bullet, Argentina level, and a really key goal there going into half-time. But in that second half, Argentina, they couldn't find that way through. And it was a really, really big moment, of course. The one that could have won this game. The one that should have won this game. And it came courtesy, of course, from Lionel Messi. Just before the hour mark, again, it was the two players there who were involved in the first goal. Good play down the left-hand side. It was Gonzalez. He puts a low cross into the box there. It finds its way to Lo Celso, and it should have been Lo Celso's second assist of the game. He plays a great ball into Messi, who's arriving into the penalty area. It's a good finish, near post. Should have been a brilliant team goal. But no, even though the goal was given, even though the celebrations went on, Messi looked so happy to score for Argentina, the referee went over to look at the VAR monitor. They went back and back and back through different phases of play. Eventually, they found what they believed to be a foul, and they disallowed the goal. And this is my problem with VAR, because there are so many grey areas right now about what to give, what not to give, because how far do you go back? How many phases of play, how many passes need to happen before you say, you know what, that's a new phase now, that started again and we start from scratch from here? Because if you want to go back and back and back, you could probably find a fault, a possible foul in every single goal that happens, and we never see these goals given. And it's a great shame, because that was a wonderful moment, a very good team goal. And what you'll also note is when that goal goes in, does one single Paraguay player, do they appeal? They don't. And that's always a good indicator. If they're not appealing, it's probably okay. That certainly was not the case though. VAR ruled it out, and just to add insult to injury, certainly for Messi once again, with less than 20 minutes to go in the game, he has a free kick there in a good range, good position, Messi range you would say. He lines it up, and much in the same way as he did in the Champions League against Dinamo. It's a different side this time, but he finds the top corner. Absolutely wonderful strike, but again, the goalkeeper there maybe just gets a fingertip to it, but either way, cannons off the crossbar. Messi inches away from a wonderful free kick, but it's just not going in at the moment. This is what I mean when people talk about Messi being on poor form, Messi struggling. He is inches away. He is so close there to producing something absolutely magnificent. But on the night, for Argentina, just about they've fallen short. Although still, in their general play, there are some positives to take from this game. And of course, along with the performance, Argentina also won't be too upset there looking at the table as it stands in World Cup qualifying. Yes, they have dropped 2 points, and yes, they're no longer on that winning run, but they are still unbeaten after 3 games, which is pretty decent indeed. Currently, after playing one more game than Brazil, they do lie there, top of the standings. Ecuador and Paraguay also making up the top 4, with Colombia right now in 5th, but of course, plenty more games to play in these qualifiers. You look at the teams here, you look at the quality right now in South American qualifying. It always astounds me there, the teams that you have to come up against, the teams there that will miss out on the World Cup. It's so competitive, and that's why it's so enthralling. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. If you stayed up, if you got involved here in this Argentina game, let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you didn't, what do you make here of what we've been seeing and what you've heard tonight about the performance against Paraguay? I will see you soon, guys. Make sure to check out that video over on MORETALKFCB, with Dest also impressing tonight for his national team. I will see you soon, of course, and thank you for your great support. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça!